everyone, my name is Ken Riley. I'm from Copperland, and today we're going to continue with our series on living on gold. This is going to be an exciting video on the second part of living on gold. First part is origins of gold, second part is finding gold, and the third part is processing gold. Now, the most important part of finding gold is first knowing where to look, and for that you do your background studying on MRDS, MineDat, Land Matters. Once you find a good gold-bearing region, then you have to know how to spot where to look. Once you know basically where to look, whether you're in Gold Basin or Lost Basin or along the edges of mountains, you have to determine, is there any gold under the ground? Now, most of the surface gold has already been picked out. It's been picked out for over 100 years. So the surface gold is just not there. It comes out of the mountains regularly with flooding, washing. But you're not going to find enough gold to actually live on unless either you move 100 tons of dirt a day or you find ancient pockets. Our approach is to find ancient pockets that everybody walks over and doesn't even know they're there. And what we're going to do is look at the geology from the satellite views, aerial views with model aircraft or radio-controlled aircraft, and then once we know where to look, we're going to walk along the edges of the mountains and find cracks, crevices, gullies where the gold's been washing down for basically millions of years. But all the stuff in the gully on the surface gets picked through all the time. You're not going to find a lot there. Where you'll find it is deeper underground, like 4 feet underground from 10,000 years ago. Now for that you need new tools. We're taking a new approach to finding and living on gold, and for that you need new tools. Today we're going to show you how to put together basic tools for discovering where those pockets are, or we'll work on a tool that aids you in boring holes to pick up near surface gold up to, say, a foot underground. Now with their boring tools, you have tubing, piece of tube, and you have a cutting bit that goes on the end of the tool. For boring deeper holes, you want to go as small as you possibly can. You could go down to 3/4 of an inch, or like we're doing here, and we're going at 1.5 inches. All the old, say, copper company boring out west of us here, that was all 1 inch, and then they stepped up to 2 inch later on after that. So you could go down to 3/4 of an inch, or go 1 inch or 1.5 inches like we're doing. Now there are different kinds of tubing. You can get, it's 1 5/8 stainless steel. That's pretty expensive to come by. Or you can go with the common steel tubing like this, which is just soft steel. That's 1.5 OD. And that's good for your deeper boring bars. Not that piece, but something like that, 4 feet. You want to be able to bore down at least 4 feet to see what's down there. For nugget shooters, people working metal detectors, you want to go with a larger diameter so you can actually bore down to the targets you're getting with your metal detector. So in this case, I'm going to show you, that's a 2.5 inch tube with a 2.5 inch carbide bit. These are carbide bits. Yeah, you get them on Amazon. This one was maybe $15. They're pretty cheap. The 1.5 inch, that's a 38 millimeter. That's only about 11 or 12 bucks. A 35 millimeter is 11 or $12. Difference between the 35 and the 38 millimeter is 35 can be mounted directly inside an 1.5 inch OD tube. If you want to directly mount it, what we're doing is we're going with replaceable bits. It's a short piece of pipe that attaches to your 1.5 inch pipe. And here's one made up. This is your 1.5 inch boring rod, and your bit tube fits right over it like so. That way you can easily pull a pin and replace your bit. You can interchange with different types of bits. This one is it's a diamond bit. The problem with the diamond bits is that they have a very, very thin wall, so they're kind of fragile. You can easily attach that to a replaceable tube, and then that goes over your 1.5 inch tube like so. That gives you the ability to cut through rock if you're using water down inside your hole. You can easily cut through rock or caliche, something like that. So you have options. Diamond bits, carbide bits. In most cases, you just need carbide. We're not boring down through rock. We're boring through sand. That'll actually cut caliche because caliche is, it's actually concrete. It's limestone concrete. Okay, so moving on. Small diameter to bore deep. Larger diameter to chase nuggets near the surface. Now we'll show you how to put these together. That'll be a step-by-step process, and pay attention, it's pretty easy. Okay, the first step in putting together your boring bars is to prepare your bits. Now I'm using a lathe to cut the backs of the bits off. You have to make the bit hollow so your material can go through the bit as you're boring down. You want to keep your sample material. These are obviously not hollow, they've got a back on them, so what we're going to do is cut right there about halfway down through this section. That'll leave us with a hollow bit, and then this part we'll use, the shank part we'll use for actually driving the bit bar. So we have 3 bits to prepare. I'm doing it on a lathe. You can do it with a grinder, even a Dremel tool, but a 4.5 inch grinder is fine with a 1/16 inch cutting disc. So whatever you have, this is what I have in my shop, so I'm using a lathe. So as soon as we get these done, we'll show you the results. And when you're operating machinery of any type, it's really important that you have eye and ear, and sometimes face protection. Like if you have a lot of smoke, you'll need some sort of a mask to keep the smoke out. We don't have a lot of smoke today, so we're using just eye protection and ear protection. Always preserve your eyes and your ears for future use. Okay, we'll get back with these as soon as you're done here. So we're done with the lathe cutting operations. You can see we made all of these bits into hollow bits. So these bits will be attached to tubing that'll then allow us to attach it to our boring bar. So we'll do that next time. We'll make a boring, it's actually a drill motor drive head. This is going to go inside of here, so I can drive our shallow boring bar. And do the same thing with our long boring bar. You have to create a drive head so you can attach either a battery operated or even a generator operated half-inch drill, a slow motor. Not a fast one, the slow half-inch drill motors. Like I say in all my videos, my name's not Jeff, I am not Roger from Oz, I'm Ken from Copperland, and gold turbine products which we're developing, boring tools, the gold turbine, gold ore processor will turn you from a 90-pound gold panning weakling into a beast of a miner. So, till next time, take care, and we will see you in the gold fields. Bye for now.